bump a stick and said Brooklyn College basketball, we're going places. And we certainly did. Pressure's always on to win it, whatever team you have. Hi, I'm Rich Micallef. I'm the head men's basketball coach at Brooklyn College. This is my second season. I'd like to go back and talk a little bit about the time when I played here at Brooklyn. I had the fortunate opportunity to play under one of the best head coaches I think Brooklyn has seen, and that's Mr. Mark Reiner. I learned a great deal from him. I had a wonderful relationship with him and the coaching staff. Not only the coaching staff, but the players I played alongside with. It was a privilege and honor to play with those guys. I thought we had something special, especially my sophomore year. I was co-captain, and it was a wonderful time. We struggled at points during the season, but I remember Coach Reiner telling us after we had lost to Baruch sometime in late January that we weren't going to lose another game for the rest of the season. And we believed that. And we won pretty much every game that we played after that. We had Staten Island at the time was number one in the country. They were undefeated coming into our house to play the final game in CUNY. We beat them by 4. Unfortunately, myself and our starting center, Rick Davis, suffered injuries that prohibited us from playing in the CUNY playoffs. Subsequently, we lost in the semifinals, but we were considered as an at-large bid to go to the NCAA. So it gave us a chance to heal. It gave us a chance to reflect and to take the opportunity as best we could. And Mr. Reiner was a terrific leader in that respect. We wound up making it all the way to the Final Four. We actually won the Eastern Regional Championship right here at Roosevelt Hall, beating Roanoke, Virginia by 3 in front of a capacity crowd and people hanging off the rafters. I'll never forget that moment, cutting down the nets. It was a great feeling. From there, we went on to Calvin College in Michigan, and we lost to Potsdam State by 1 in the Final Four. The next day, we wound up beating Stanislaus State of California in overtime to be the number 3 team in the country. That is probably my biggest memory at Brooklyn. The preceding years, we went Division I, and it was a different ballgame. We traveled everywhere we went. We had 18 away games. And our first season, we went 11-17. But that didn't really reflect of what we did. We had lost 8 games by 2 points or less. 5 were in overtime. So we were competing against some of the better teams in the country. And I thought that was a terrific season as well. And not only that, it was a great experience to see things outside of Brooklyn, which I was not privy to as a child. We got to travel all over the country, California, from California to Buffalo, to Michigan, to Maryland Eastern Shore, down to Campbell in North Carolina. So we went everywhere. Our bumper sticker said Brooklyn College basketball, we're going places. And we certainly did. We lived up to that. If you see that in the Hall of Fame area, that sticker is still there that we put on our cars. So it was a great time. I was fortunate enough, like I said, to play with some great players and some great guys. We made some good friendships. And some of those guys come back still today to watch us play at Brooklyn College. So I'm so happy to be part of it, and I'm so happy to be back. But for me, that was my role. My role was to score points and to make jump shots. I wasn't the greatest, defender, and what I did defensively, I just played with smarts and tried to pick up charges and try to get and angle people in different ways. And I didn't have the quickness, but I tried to do the best that I could get out of myself, and which way would be the best to help my team. And I try to pass the ball and get assists and things like that. So it was really a great career. I really enjoyed being part of Brooklyn College.
What was your approach heading into the season? And what was the standards, and have your team held up to it?
We kind of concentrated more defensively on how we're going to make stops, and I thought we did a good job, up to a certain point. Unfortunately, with the loss of Edon Jambalaj, who was our starting center, and then we lost Anis Nakovic, third game into the season, which was our backup center. So that really kind of threw a wrench at us. We were able to hang on pretty much until the end of the first half. I mean, we lost the last two, but we could have used Anis. Right now he's recovering. He just had surgery last Friday on a torn ACL, so we hope he's back next year. But that you can't coach injuries. I mean, you just can't. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to do the best with what you have, and I think we've got a really good group. Whether that's going to be a special group, I don't know yet. Right now, I think we're going through some inconsistency, as you can see against the Baruch game, where we couldn't make stops. I think we're trying to find a cohesive chemistry that we had earlier in the season, and now we're trying to reinvent ourselves. And I think during this process, there might be some bumps in the road, but it's all about how we position ourselves for the CUNY playoffs and where we could be, in the conference, in that conference, playoff system. So, we have some work to do ahead of us, and our guys have to start learning different positions as we ask them to do different things, where their roles were kind of defined. Now we're kind of changing their roles somewhat to try to like I said, to get that fit. And we're not there yet, but there's still a long way to go.
What happened with Edon?
Edon, we had found out this was his last semester, and it was 10th semester, which was back in the fall. And we were not aware of it. We thought we had him for the year. And,
So he can't finish the season?
He can't finish the season. So just the NCAA rules. So it's unfortunate. We love him. I mean, he was a great part of his team, great energy for this team. And, we miss that, and then we miss Anis, because there were two guys there that really filled up that slot so well for us. And it fit in a chemistry way, And when things weren't, like if Edon needed a rest, we went to Anis. But we lost that almost right away. And that really hurt us when we went to travel to Albertus Magnus. And that last game at Lehman, we didn't have our big guy, and that kind of hurt. But again, you can't coach the injuries.
What have you learned from last season that you brought over this season as a second-year coach?
You bring over the experiences of what you did the first season. I think I thought we had a very good first season. I thought we could have won it. Because we started playing real well right at the end there. We just didn't play well in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the Baruch game.
You lost in overtime.
Well, we lost in double overtime, but the kid Gibbons hit a shot. He dribbled it off his knee, grabbed it, and just threw it up, and it went in, and that put us into overtime. And then once Lorenzo had fouled out in double overtime, and we were down 2, and that was they just kind of stretched it out from there, and we kind of ran out of gas. But I'm proud of the way the guys worked. I'm proud of everything they did last year. We carried that over this year. We carried that offense over. We carried certain things over. I'm proud of the coaching staff we have here at Brooklyn College now. I think they're doing a hell of a job. I think we work well as a team, and we just hope we could put it together. These next few weeks.
What is the ceiling for the team, and what's the floor?
Well, I don't know if there's a ceiling. You don't want to put ceilings on things. Because when things go right, things could go real well, and who knows what we can achieve. And I take that going back, 35 years. When I played here, there was no ceiling. We made it all the way to the Final Four, so we weren't expected to. So that's kind of the good thing about it. And I'm sure we're not expected to do anything this year, but that's the one thing about basketball and college sports. You just never know what's going to happen. So I don't want to put a ceiling on it. We know what our floors are. I think we need to work harder. I think we need to work smarter as a ball club. And at some point, those things can just gel and come together. So you really don't know. So we understand the flaws, but if we don't want to take them as like that's accepted. So we don't accept anything. We have to make what we have and make it better. So that's where we're
at. Has the season gone as planned?
Has the season gone as planned? I would have liked to beat Baruch Friday night, so that wasn't planned. But again, we were missing some guys. We missed our backup point guard, Neve. He had a broken finger, so he's back now. So there have been some injuries and some unfortunate things that have happened to us. So are we happy and pleased? If you look at it and say we're 11-3, yeah, you got to say we're pleased. But I don't know if I'm ever pleased. And I hope they're not, because if they're pleased with what we're doing, then you might as well just stop right here.
You have 10 seniors now on the team, right?
I'm going to say, how many we got, Jeff? What we got left? 8? 8?
Yeah, 8.
You feel like there's the pressure to win now, since you have such seniors, so many seniors?
Yeah, the pressure comes when you have an excellent ball club. I thought last year we had a very good ball club. This year I think we have a very good ball club. Pressure's always on to win. Whatever team, whatever freshman, whatever. It's their legacy, what they want to leave, how they want to leave Brooklyn for the seniors. If they want to put pressure on themselves, they can. We don't, but they understand what we're here for. We're not here to just play basketball games. We're here to win a CUNY championship.